We shall have welcome remarks from Stephen Frame, and that will be the manager, Stephen Frame. That is Frank Ochen, has been with us here since the training started. We shall also have opening remarks from the Executive Director, CEMCOD. CEMCOD is Center for Media Trust and Community Development. In partnership with the Stephen, we have been together for some good time since 2014, and we have been handling a number of activities, most especially to do with community development and the youth of today. And we shall also have participants share with us their experience of the training or what they have been doing here for the rest of the days. We shall also have participation, youth participation and leadership. We have a team that will join us, of course, on Zoom. That's why you see the network is clear. They want to thank the brother who is in charge for the good job. Thank you. We shall as well have a focused discussion that will involve the Mbale district youth chairperson who is with us in the house. Thanks for joining us. We shall also have the district community development officer and also US exchange alumni, US mission staff. They are with us in this meeting, but online from head office. We shall therefore have a plenary discussion, and the moderator will be Frank. Frank Ochen, that is the manager, and also closing remarks from US mission representative, and the mayor Mbale City is expected in the house. Then we shall at least have some snacks and networking. The culture will be acceleration. That is our brief program tonight. I'll still say thanks for being a part of this program today. And we pray that whatever has gathered us here is successful as organized. We have our facilitators who have been running this program since we started. I know that the right time will come, but we have a senior journalist in the house, that is David McFadden from Daily Monitor. He has been with us. Other titles will come as we continue. And we have one of the senior consultants, Madame Nakadam, is also with us in the house. Thank you. Plus others. And this time, without wasting a lot of time, allow me to invite Frank Ochen, the station manager, Stephen Frame, to come and give us the welcome remarks. Thank you. Just to recall once again, when you come across the word CEMCOD, that is Center for Media Trust and Community Development. I know it is going to be said more than once. And the gentleman coming here is the one in charge of the best radio station in the region. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Simon. All the invited guests, all members present, good afternoon. I'll seek your permission to take off this mask, just for the purpose of being quite clear, because all of you seem to be guarded Yes, my name is Frank Ocheng. Just like he told you, I work at State Radio. I take this opportunity to thank everyone who has made this positive thing. We surely appreciate, and special thanks to CEMCOD, Center for Media Literacy and Community Development, for this great initiative. Some when they hear of CEMCOD, like, so what? CEMCOD, just like you hear, I've told you, is about the center. It's the Center for Media Literacy and Community Development. They do a lot of things. And just as the program has stated, anytime you'll be having an official from CEMCOD here to explain to you further what they do. Mine here is just to let you know how Stephen comes in the picture and what you should expect from the members you see in the house. So CEMCOD partnered with Step Radio to train 25 youth in the age bracket of 19 to 24. And the training was dubbed Emerging Leaders, Youth Voices for Development. This was on the basis that the youth are very instrumental. They play a cardinal role in developing society. And if you look at statistics, in Uganda today, the youth actually make up to 77% of the total population. That already shows you what influence they have in terms of the development of society is concerned. Now, so what's their role? These youth who have been trained have a cardinal role of impacting society, of ensuring that there's sanity wherever they come from. Maybe just to clarify to you, the youth that we trained were not selected from all parts of Mbale, but we specified the members in the house. We have youth from Namabasa, that is the northern city division of Mbale. Then we also have some youth from Nauyo, Town Council, and those ones fall under the industrial city division of Mbale. I'm very certain that most of you know how those divisions move. So these have been trained to ensure that development prevails in those specific areas. How? We so much believe that the media can set the agenda, the media can promote development, the media can also destroy. Why Stephen comes in to partner with CEMCOD is that when these youth are out there, they will be reporting cases, reporting stories, happenings in their areas. And so if you're a youth bearer in the house, please, the youth that you see here will most times come to you, say for a comment, or any guidance, or help, for that matter, as they're doing their work. They will be doing this basically on a voluntary basis. But for us as Step Radio, this is not the first time we are doing such a thing. The first time we did this was 5 years ago. CEMCOD again came, and we trained community members referred to as community reporters from Nakaroke Town Council and Namanyonyi Sub-County, those two areas. Those are still serving up to date. What we do after training these members, other than them just reporting those stories, we also organize community interface meetings. That is TPFM together with CEMCOD, where we invite community members and duty bearers. I talk of duty bearers, I'm referring to the people in power, find the political leaders, and maybe civil servants around there who hold those specific offices where people think service delivery is generated. So when we invite the community members, it's at that point that we can really exchange ideas, just like we hear the word interface. The faces meet. they ask you the questions they have about development in their area, and you as a duty bearer, you'll be expected to give feedback. So today, just like the MC stated, we'll be passing out these 25 community reporters from Namabasa and Nauyo and Namabasa Council, so that we therefore send them to their respective areas, start work, and we see how things unfold. There are so many cases, there are so many issues that have gone unreported, more so during this lockdown period. We've had cases of teenage pregnancies, theft, and very many undesirable aspects. But that's not to say that they will only be reporting negative things, theft, early pregnancies, the rest of it, even development in those areas. So I request that the duty bearers who are in this house, you take these people in good faith. In most cases, they think, sometimes you tend to think that journalists are bad people. Journalists are very good people. All they want is information. And if we put heads together, journalists with the leaders, I'm sure our societies can change. So that's basically about the partnership with Step Radio here. Maybe one thing I forgot, that alongside sending us those stories that will be airing during our usual news broadcasts, we will also give this youth platform on our radio station, whereby they'll be featuring for some talk shows, discuss things that affect the youth, and also what's happening in their communities. So that's how we'll be working with them. And I request every member who is here also embraces the program. I will not take the entire day here. I just wanted to give you a brief, and at this juncture, I will be. Okay. The next person to be speaking to is the executive director, one of the officials from Center for Media Literacy and Development. But before she comes in, just permit me to do a very simple task of introducing some of the people we refer to as mentors of these community reporters. The people who will be guiding these community reporters, the people who will be there to work with them on a day-to-day basis. So at this moment, allow me to ask all the mentors from Step FM here to stand up for recognition. Yes, so those three, myself and the MC, plus others who have not managed to turn up, will be in close touch with the community reporters and also the leaders in their respective capacities to ensure that really what we are pushing for is achieved. Thank you so much. At this moment, let me invite one of the officials from Center for Media Literacy and Community Development. I can proceed to come and say a word to you. Thank you.
I'll also request that you allow me to remove my mask so that I can be able to speak loudly and clear. Good afternoon, everyone. Young people, good afternoon. Okay. This is what we've been talking about. We need some energy in the room, okay? Yeah, and for young people, just lag behind, it's not really good. So we need to show some energy. We are the young people who have been going through this training for the last 5 days and the last 5 days, because we've had 2 batches of trainings. I take this opportunity to welcome our leaders. Thank you very much for making time to be here. We know you have very busy schedules, but when we made a call, to some of you even at short notice, you made your way here. So we are very, very grateful. The Center for Media Literacy and Community Development, we are based in Kampala, but we would say we do our work in most of the grassroots communities. We work now in 5 districts in Uganda, and we are happy that this time round we are in Mbale. I would like to thank the US Embassy Kampala that has made it possible for us to make this intervention here in Mbale, and who have made it possible that we are able to train our youth that was selected by some of you. This selection was done in collaboration with the local leaders in Nauyo and Namabasa, together with our partner radio station, which is Step FM. And I would like to report that you gave us the brief. We've had these young people for these days, and I'm telling you, the inspiration we get from them is enormous. We know that they're coming back to do a very good job in collaboration with you, our leaders. One of the things that came up when we were making the selection, we made radio announcements, and I wanted to share this because of the fear that sometimes crops up when we get to train such young people. So we got reports when we ran the announcement that one of the leaders, who are not mentioned here, called one of the managers at Step FM and said, "What are you guys calling our youth to do? We hear you're recruiting them." But I wanted to bring this up so that you know that these young people are just passionate young people who would like to work in collaboration with you, with your guidance, to see that we have community development. That whatever is happening elsewhere, if at all we have areas in this country that are more developed, that is what we strive to do. So there shouldn't be any fear amongst our leaders when such young people come up. We need them, and they need you as our leaders to show them the right way. What we've done is to equip them with skills that will help them participate effectively, that will complement the work that you leaders are putting forward. So there is no need to worry. And I hope that when they approach you, when you interact with them, even after here, you're going to see that they're very different from what you've ever known them to be. This all is being made possible by the US Embassy, and I would like us to give the US Mission in Uganda a very big hand clap. Thank you. This session, or this time that I'm actually taking, is supposed to be for my executive director, who is actually online, Mr. Bruce Vitalis, and I would like to take the opportunity to invite him to say a few words to you and to whoever is listening to us now. And please let your colleagues know that we are streaming this event live on YouTube. So if anybody can access our YouTube channel, we are streaming. And those who you can also alert to join us on Zoom, we shall be glad that they get to know what is happening here in Mbale. So welcome, Bruce Vitalis, online to address us. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much, Madam Prosi. Thank you, Simon, who spoke first, who is moderating this occasion. And thank you, Frank Ocheng, manager Step FM for those beautiful words. Yeah, I'm not able to be there physically, and so is our funding partner, the U.S. Embassy. We are actually online and following these proceedings very well. Well, I would like to thank Amy Peterson and the staff of United States Embassy or Mission in Uganda for trusting us with this cooperation. I mean, this is a very big program that the U.S. Mission is passionate about, and they looked through a number of applications, and CEMCOD came out as a very competitive partner. In the same vein, let me thank Step FM for always being there for us, for carrying us and giving us a platform where we enable the youth to enhance their abilities in the skills that they are trained in. I'd like to say that at CEMCOD, we have a model, what we call a community media model. The community media model does not only train youth per se, but also looks at giving them a platform to practice the knowledge and skills that they gain from us. That's why you see that we have a hybrid of media and community approaches to development. We select these youth together with the radio, train them, and hand them over to the radio. It's not the first time we are doing it. We've done it elsewhere, as you've heard. Madam Pross has already said that we are in five districts in Uganda. The population of the youth, Franco Chen told you, is about 77. One can say 78% under the age of 30, and those aged between 15 and 24. There are over 7 million in Uganda. Our ambition is to train at least one youth in every village in Uganda. We don't know when we shall achieve that, but we shall stay with that ambition forever. And for the case of Mbale, I'm grateful that Namabasa and Nauyo have been able to specially select these 25 youth who have undergone this training. I happened to interact with the first batch. However, owing to other official duties, I was unable to interact with the second batch. But I know you've had a good time. You've got the leadership skills and you're ready to go. What I must caution you is that leadership is about transforming society. You are now the champions who are going to transform society. Try to pick human interest stories, look at issues that are developmental to your community, report on them, interact with the people who matter. We have the local leaders. You cannot work in isolation. When we are training you, we tell you that you must build a youth-adult partnership. That is what will help you. The adults are experts. The technical people who work in the districts, those community development officers, the security officers are experts in their own right. Feel free to interact with them during the course of your work and you will manage. You will transform society. Seek access to rightful information. Don't be part of the group that propels fake news, part of the group that witch hunt others. Report positively and make sure that you're part and parcel of the development agenda in your community. I wish to thank the stakeholders in Mbale, the leaders who are present today. I've heard Simon mentioning Maimzei Basilio Wanzira is an inspiration to me. I've worked with him for some time. There's a way we meet with the Maimzei Wanzira and others who were not mentioned. We happen to meet sometimes. I'm really very grateful to all of you for honoring our invitation to come at this launch. And it's my prayer that together we shall take forward the movement of emerging leaders, youth voices for development. Thank you so much.
Ndowooza ye Munnayuganda gwe nasooka okusisinkana ng'alina amaanyi amazungu. Yes, thank you. I want to recognize a team of guests who joined us along the way. Like Bruce mentioned earlier, we have the leaders who helped us in the selection of these youths who are now leaders because of the training they went through. We have a female youth counselor from Industrial City Division with us. You are most welcome. And within no time, we shall be joined by one of the leaders from Namabasa, who also assisted us in the selection. We wanted to take it to that level. We wanted to take it to that level such that we get the people who can easily identify with the community, because whatever they have got here must be put into action, and of course that will be their community to benefit from whatever they have been learning for all this time here. We also have the RCC with us, and when his time comes, of course, we shall get to know him by his full titles. You are most welcome. And also the office of the youth chairperson, like I said, is fully represented. The district community development officer is fully represented, and also other dignitaries. Step-up mentors, you're most welcome. Your boss mentioned you, but I also have the right to. Thank you. Right now, we are going straight forward to sharing the training experience. And of course, that is going to be done by the participants who have been with us here from the time we began. We divided into two. We have two activities. Bugema Nauyo Town Council, which is now Industrial City Division as a whole, is going to take us through a presentation, and Namabasa will take us through a role play. All that will showcase the experience they have got for the time they have been here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, MC. And before they come here, allow me to send my thanks again to the parents who trusted us with their children. The selection exercise was very tight. Like we went through the politicians or the political leaders, for that matter, to get us these children or students, for that matter. I may say so. But the challenges we had, most of the girl child, I realized really, this lockdown has taught parents how to take care of their daughters. Most of the girls even came to the hotel, and all they managed to tell me was, if we are to be day scholars, we will manage to attend the training. But if we are to sleep here, our parents will not allow. So I just knew the reason was the obvious. Maybe they thought they had some ill motive or ill thought, which was not the case. But those that trusted us, I'm sure the testimonies will be shared here. So my purpose of getting back to the microphone basically is to introduce you to activities Simon has just been mentioning. And I will start with the Nauyo Bugema team. Ingrid and Emma can come forward and make a presentation as Bugema brother Namabasa prepares. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. And good afternoon to everyone. Before you are the representatives of the Bugema Nauyo team. My name is Kisa Ingrid. Yeah, he's Odeda. We are going to go through. We are going to talk about what you're bringing out of this conference. We came here on Monday. It has been a 5-day training, training us on how we should conduct ourselves as leaders, reporting for our community. We had different topics that we have shared, and I would like to go briefly through them and explain how we have managed to come up with different skills through the trainings we have got from this place. One of the things we talked about was news, and where we find news, we had the characteristics of news, how we can obtain news from different sources, and what are the challenges that we can face as reporters when searching for news. Another topic we had was about media, where we spoke about different types of media. We have the print media, we have the electronic media, and we managed to know what are different outlets we have in the community. For example, we have the social media and we have the mainstream media. We're taught how these two things are different, how is social media different from the mainstream media. And concerning media, we also saw how social media have been of value to us as the youth and the problems that have been brought about just because of social media. Due to time, I'd like to talk about another topic we went through, we've been taught. We have been taught about leadership. How can we participate in the leadership in our community? And our facilitator was very good to us. She had managed to elaborate different skills as leaders. What are the qualities that we must have? What are the challenges that our people are facing as leaders? What should we address? What can we handle and what can we not? So we learned more about leadership. And what I know, whoever is in this place is a good leader. Yes. Another thing we handled are the different problems in our community. We have been recruited as community reporters, and we are being empowered. But therefore, we have to first consider which are the problems you're going to report about, what are the things that are happening in our societies. So we came up with different issues from where we are. People were talking about the poor sanitation, the insecurity, the sexual harassment, unemployment, mention it all. So we managed to know how can we handle and how can we be a solution to our community as reporters. Which issues can we address? Thank you very much. Allow me to give the mic to my colleague to tell you more about how we have had different skills throughout this training. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Ingrid. So, I'm Odeda Emmanuel, as I told you before. In this session, we have acquired many skills we adults. Previously, before we came here, some of us could fear. In our communities, we could not know how we approach those big people, those elders, those counselors. But in this training, we have been given tactics on how to approach those big people. We have even acquired practical skills of how we can approach the mayors, the councillors, and also those big people, the youth media here. We have learned how to use social media. We as youths to create development to our communities. We have also got links to know big people in town and how we can approach each and everyone. Since we are talking of benefits we have gained in this training, we have also had fun as youths, and we are we were able to know big people. We didn't know the assistant town clerk, but through this session, we have come to know the organizations which have provided, which have accommodated us, and very many things which I can't complete at this moment. So I would like to take this opportunity to hand over the mic to the programmer. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. The representative of committee reporters from Nauyo Uganda. That's just a fraction of what they learned. They did not deliver everything here, but at least they've given you a picture of what they've been going through in this house. So at this moment, I want to hand you over to Simon, who will be ushering in the Namabasa team to also give you some of the skills they acquired here.
Thank you, Frank, and the participants, that is Ingrid and Emma. I pray that what you have shared with us becomes a living testimony in you when you go back to your communities. To this time, we are going to feed our eyes with a role play from Namabasa team, and this stage, because of the arrangement, it did not allow us to host the role play from here. So that means we are going to you're just going to just turn your chair in position without affecting the arrangement, and you face behind. That is where our role play is going to take place from. Like in leadership, we are also preparing our youth to be service delivery workers. So we are going to see what they are supposed to do when they go back to their communities, because especially when it comes to some challenges, when they come across some issues that need to be reported about or followed up. Thank you. Namabasa team.
Ebintu byonna binaaliye ebisaasire abantu bakyagula buntu yenanga kusenefu don't fair. No, first listen to the reporters. How are you doing? I'm not really fine. What's with the riots? The only thing that is affecting my life is I have a business like us in Namabasa. Now look at the road. The road has been started in construction, but nothing we are achieving. Look at dust, the way dust is affecting our businesses. For me as a market vendor, I make a budget. You go, just imagine on transport that you are going to use, bringing matoke, you put there matoke, there is no way you're going to sit there to market your work. So what's your main effect in this, and how has it really affected you? It has affected me, the business, you put money, but nothing you're going to achieve on it. Has it only affected you financially, or your health has been also affected. It has affected my health. Your distance, please. You see, I can't even complain or explain it. Okay, so what measures do you think can be taken to solve this? It's like I can just help you as news reporters. I think these people, they can maybe hear you. Help us in the construction of our road, prevent those. Okay, as you've heard, people are reacting, and this is live on State FM. Please permit me to take an opportunity to get another person or citizen to tell us whether the challenges Miss Janet told us about are the same that he also faced. Good afternoon, Mister.
Good afternoon.
What's your name?
My name is James.
I've seen you striking and making a lot of noise.
Yeah, we are not safe. This dust here is not taking us well. My portion have been mixed with dust. My cooking oil that I sell people, it's mixed with dust. Everything is just mixed up. I was just going somewhere to pick some change to my neighbor. When I had just gone like this, the other motoka bypassed me, and the dust sprays are not only to come to find when they have already stolen everything in my shop. So things are not going well. I don't know whether the government is just sleeping. I don't know what they are using this money for. They doesn't even pour water on our road. Everything is just mixed up. We don't know how we can get help even.
Okay, Mr. Who do you think are responsible for the complaints you're raising?
Yeah, they are a CC and the chairman. If they are here, if they are there, that they can hear us. We even need the request from those RDCs who are there. Please let them hear us.
Okay, we'll try to raise your voice. Thank you for that. Good afternoon, Miss.
Good afternoon to you.
How are you?
I'm fine.
What's with the riots and how has it affected you? Because you're among the people who are raising it highly.
Yes, it's affecting me on the side of the road. Now, this time, allow me use my language.
Yes, you're free because we are all understanding.
Okay. Akasera kano engeri oluguudo gye tukunkosamu oluguudo luno baalukoze naye ng'ato enfufu nyingi nnyo kakati nze omuvuzi wa booda ate piki ngivuga nga ya looni kakati enfufu eno engeri gye kumpisaamu bakasitoma n'abatono ate akaseera kano enfufu nyingi obeera ovudde waka simaati ng'ate ogikubye eddagala kasitoma olukutukako n'akulaba ng'oli mukyafu n'agamba genda kulinnya pikiyo ngenda kukwata mu piki endala kakati ennaku zino bali kukwata shortcut ng'ate ffe naffe piki zeetaaga amafuta zeetaaga buli kimu kakati akaseera kano tuli kusaba batwongereyo wakiri ku ttaka z'amaazi olunaku olwaleero baliweko enfufu embeera entono nnyo.
Okay, so tuwulidde manager nga bw'owulidde abantu bali kweyalakaasa naye beetaaga buyambi eddoboozi lyabwe lyetaaga otuuka gye muli tukozese Strip Radio tube nga tuyamba abantu bano omuweereza wammwe Neume Peace ku lwa Step FM.
Mukakaleko twawulidde okukaba kwamwe nekusooka ddala okwaniriza abakulwange abawulidde okukoyekisa ne bakkiriza ne bajja timwebale kujja muwulidde nabadde nina gyendi ng'akulira akasimu okuva bakansala bange nga ngamba tina abatuze ku kyalo bali kwekalakasa ku kizibu ky'oluguudo Kinefufu ACD. Kasala kano, jakwa kasala kano, muyite, aswa kubanga ako byakinyola, ngaye kasala, kuwera singa ko bindi, okumanya. You are welcome.
Madam CP. Ntwala akakisa kano bebaza meeting eno nabadde eyo ne mpulira nga abantu bakubaterere awo okudo efufu basibitegeera naye ate nagenda okutuusa ekiseera neŋŋamba nina okwekerera kiki kyekiri okubi abantu terere bagenza okizuula nga bagamba oluguudo gavumenti yaze ne badde erirongoosa oluguudo naye ate mu kulongoosa oluguudo yakoze yafudde mu kulongoosa ate neyonoona kubanga abantu bali kuyomba ebintu byabwe ab'amaduuka g'engoye tebakyakola ab'omu butale tebakyatunda abakyapati tebakyakola bakubanga bingi so nange natuta obuvunaanyizibwa ku lw'abataka bannange nengenda nentuukirira RCC nemwogerayo naŋŋamba agenda kujja kubanga enfuufu nyingi kyo kituufu nyingi abantu tebakyakola ab'ennyama bali mu kuyomba tebakyakola batuuka ennaku eziwera nga tebakola kulw'ensonga y'enfuufu kale n'olwekyo nzikirize ntwala akakisa kano kwaniriza RCC.
In addition to that, first and foremost, RDC is supposed to give a speech, but I want to add something whereby the councillor was like, the road is under construction. Yes, it's under construction, but you people, you have to tell us that where do the money go to?
Masala kwa mulungi twakolonda nenga ebintu bya gavumenti by'ebintu kusanga akwe ekanzo mu bikubucha nenga enyama ezemunakonya enyama ekuli bawulibi twaya abantu bange ekijuzi bakwata abakanso enyama infu simanyi obugono nyamboja kansala bigino nabyo ebintu byange misali enyama ati ngiwa na kansala ya wendo sina kapito niyanziza abakozi banange kulwebyo bimwogedde ebyo byonna byonna nabiteeseeyo ewa RCC era yagenda okutangaza ku bisingako ku byebyo kubanga mukulu wange yankulira neyanziza base
bale babiyitali mwena mwanyala naabe kumulanga kwenye kolere mu yafesi yaserera ku lw'embolobe. On the other hand, we are not just destroying, but we are preparing for you a better road. The engineer, I have ordered him not to just waste the money, because like I told you, we don't want our people to continue suffering and crying. Please, I also had the other complaint of the bridge, Mr. Engineer. I've given you 1 week. Can you please go and work on it? I need the response back. And on immediate effect, you should also start watering the road in the morning, afternoon, and also evening. But anyway, cool anyway, coming.
Nasi Babange, Kansala, and the Manyagula Camarino, Mutamu, Mita. Makumbela basi kuta Manyagula Shange, so we are getting Camarino State, Naviolesa, about Bange, so Bangari Pulling, Manyanavi, Manyanavi.
Okay, let's do that simple exercise again of turning around. That's what happens when you come to uniform engagements. Yeah. Thank you. Bagamba kugende bulyamba ofuka mulyamba
somehow you'll be forced to act like them. Thank you. To start with, Nauyo youths, the representatives, the two we first had here, who took us through the sharing, and also thank you, Namabasa youths, who also took us through the role play. The role play identified a number of issues. One is the dust roads that has affected the business, community transport, and health sector, but also using the voice of the community reporter and the radio station. The information was able to reach the duty bearers, the local leaders first, who also had to put the duty bearers on call and make sure they explain to the community why the situation is like that. I think we take a number of lessons from that, and questions will come later, but right now, allow me introduce the next item on the agenda, and that will be focused discussion, of course, whereby we shall need the three people, that is the Mbale district chairperson, who is with us here, like we said earlier, the district community development officer, and the US and US mission staff, who is also with us when we come to that. But for now, let's go through this. I will request Frank to help me. I think based on the setting, maybe help with the seats, we put them here. Okay, thank you. We shall have the youth chairperson to take one seat, and also the CDO to take one seat. Thank you. Thank you. Let's make adjustments. I rushed very fast. I don't know why. But since I'm dealing with the youths, you will pardon me. You will pardon me. Let's go to youth participation and leadership in Africa. The case of Zimbabwe. Then I will invite you gentlemen back. Sort of a convenience. Thank you. It is normal in a society like this, and at this time, allow me invite the presenter to take us through that agenda. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Program Director. With the indulgence of the members in the House, I will remove my mask so that at least I am audible enough. It is my honor and privilege to be here. Let me begin by appreciating the leadership in this gathering at the expense of probably omitting some very important dignitaries. I will simply say all protocols observed. I'm very excited to be here today to speak about an issue that I'm very passionate
about an issue of youth development and participation. I'm seeing very happy faces, and given what we have experienced, the role play and the feedback that was given by the participants, I'm very certain the organizers and the trainers did a wonderful job by empowering these youth that we have seen today. And what they just did is testimony of the excellent work that was done. Let's give both the youth, the organizers of the program, and the trainers a big pam-pam. It is not every day in Africa that we gather, especially on issues to do with youth participation, youth leadership, youth development, because Africa still remains a very conservative continent where patriarchy still determines who is a leader and who is not. And I know from my experiences in my country, Zimbabwe, in other countries where I've been, where I work with young people, that youth presence is characterized by silence. Our culture still regards youth as people who can come to spaces where key decisions are made or where important processes are happening upon invitation. If they are not invited, they should keep away. And if they are invited, they have to remain in a certain corner, keep silent, be seen, but not be heard. This is how Africa has lost in terms of development, in terms of progress, economic progress. Other regions, other continents realized it earlier that involving youth in key decision-making, in participation, and investing in their development has immense potential and actual benefits. I'm reminded of a young boy who was just 4 months about to turn 20 in America at the University of Harvard, who created a platform that has come to take this world by storm. This young person was born by attending lectures every day, being given deadlines to submit assignments, and not even being given an opportunity to network with other youth within the university, within his class. He sat down and said, I want to come up with a solution that will bring my fellow youth together so that we can be online, we can be on a platform where we share ideas, we can compare notes and come up with solutions. And that young man is none other than Mark Zuckerberg, who created in 2004 what we know today as Facebook. How many of you are on Facebook? Facebook today is probably one of the biggest platforms where people, both young and old, interact, where people, young and old, do business, where they meet, not only to interact, to do business, but also to find solutions of our time. And as we are gathered here today, these youngsters, these youth who participated in this training are not very different from this youth that I'm talking about. And coming to closer home, in 2007, in Kenya, after the disturbances of elections, youth again came together and said, we are facing a lot of violence in our communities. And these violence incidences are not documented. How can we document put together what we are experiencing so that we share with those who are in public office, so that we share with our leaders. But we need to gather evidence so that when we approach them, show how much this is hating us, especially as young people. We have evidence. And they created what would later be known as Ushahidi. I'm talking about inventions of our time that have created solutions spearheaded by young people. And I'm excited because today's young people are at the front line of economic development, at the front line of social change. And Africa, by the way, is the youngest population globally. So it means that we have immense potential in terms of harvesting this youth innovation, this youth creativity, this youth energy. But it can only happen if we come together, especially as leaders in our communities, leaders in our countries, and put policies that are pro-youth, policies that will unleash and tap into this youth innovation, this youth creativity. And unless and until we come together and create policies that are pro-youth, that embrace youth, that lead to youth participation and inclusion in decision-making or even in political processes, we tend to lose. There's been talk about the demographic dividend, because Africa today, as I indicated, is the youngest population. Here in Uganda, I think 60%, if I'm not mistaken, is aged between 15 and 24. It's actually more than 60%, making Uganda one of the youngest countries in the world if we look at the youth population. That can be leveraged on to turn around the fortunes of not only Uganda, but of Africa, because the pattern, if you look at Africa, is that we have youthful populations. Our countries are dominated by young people. And unless and until we have programs like this one that are focused on youth development, that put to the fore issues that affect young people, these programs need only to not only to happen here, but to be taken beyond. I've heard from the organizers of the program that this has been done by youth from around here, but I'll be very happy and I would like to encourage and challenge the organizers of this program to take this excellent initiative forward and scale it up to other parts of the country so that they reach to as many youth as is possible. Because this is the future, this is the present and the future of Uganda. Looking at how youth participation has fared on the continent, as I alluded to at the beginning of my presentation, youth are always seen as a problem to be solved. They are always frowned upon. They should wait for tomorrow. They are leaders of tomorrow, not leaders of today. Their time will come. I'm reminded of some literary pieces, music, poem, and so forth. What if tomorrow comes? What if tomorrow comes and these youth are not given that opportunity? It's been said that Africa will die not because of wars or disasters, but because it has placed its youth, its biggest assets, in the waiting room. Yet it can harvest innovative ideas, creative ideas that can turn around her economic and political fortunes. In Zimbabwe, the same, I would say, view obtained that has characterized Africa in terms of engaging young people, our youth, where there is still a belief that youth have time, they must not crowd the space of leadership today. Their time is tomorrow. But what is tomorrow? But the most challenge also that we face is that the way we define leadership probably has been influenced mostly by political leadership, political processes, where when we talk of leadership, maybe we are only looking at these youth becoming MPs, becoming mayors, becoming councillors, becoming presidents. And hence we feel that they are not yet ready to do that. Though there is nothing wrong. If they are given space, if they are developed well enough, if they are capacitated enough, even to occupy leadership positions to the highest office in the land. The president of France was very young when he assumed office. And we have quite a number that we can probably mention who also occupied public office at a young age and they've done well. But I want also to encourage mostly those who occupy leadership positions here, that when we talk of leadership, mostly we are talking about an opportunity to serve, an opportunity to be of service. And I don't think these youth can fail to be of service if given an opportunity and a space to do so. Wherever they are, in their spheres of influence, we have seen it even through the education system. We have group leaders from primary, we have monitors, we have prefects, we have head boys, head girls, and so forth. Those are examples of opportunities where youth can serve as leaders and serve well. Only if they are given the opportunity, the space, and we continue to provide the mentorship, especially as adults. In Zimbabwe, I'm reminded also of a comment that was raised earlier by a friend, that journalists are not bad people. Indeed, they are not bad people. But there are youth who are not happy with the way their community was being portrayed in the mainstream media. Every day you pick the newspaper, you would find these depressing stories about rape, about murder, about theft, about witchcraft. And they say, but we are doing a lot of good work, excellent initiatives that we are doing as young people. And these opportunities are not even mentioned, they are not even covered in these mainstream media platforms. How about we come together, we start our own radio station, we start our own community newspaper, where we tell our stories as young people and show other communities how development is happening in our communities and how youth have led that development. As I speak today, there is one leading community newspaper that can also be accessed online called the Citizen Bulletin, which was started by young people of your age who came together and saw an opportunity. They grabbed that opportunity, and as I speak today, the Citizen Bulletin has been used even by local leaders as best practice concerning youth participation, youth innovation, and youth creativity when it comes to finding solutions. The other community also said we are not going to be left behind. While those ones have created an online publication, the Citizen Bulletin, we want to come up with a community radio so that we harvest the views, diverse as they are, from our communities and change the narrative that says this community only has these depressing stories. They came together, put their proposal together, their ideas together, and as I speak today, there is a youth-led community radio station that is showcasing the wonderful, excellent work that is done by young people. But there are challenges, of course, when it comes to youth participation. And if you look across Africa, there is lack of political will where those in public office are not convinced that the youth of today have come of age. And if you look at some of our policies, some remain on paper. There is very little movement when it comes to implementation. But even if you interrogate those policies, you notice that the policy making framework and orientation is towards tokenism or ticking just the box to say, no, we have youth here. In that community, there is a youth representative there. And in that one, that we've even created a specific ministry for youth. But so we tick the box and say we are addressing the challenge of youth marginalization in decision making and in participation. But this is not the participation we're talking about. We are talking about realizing that as Africa, as communities on the continent, there is so much potential that goes away, that is not being realized when we continue to exclude these young people in decision making, in participation. Because these youth are passionate, they have energy, they have the creativity to come up with leading inventions that can transform our communities, our countries for the better, only if we give them opportunities. I gave an example of Mark Zuckerberg, who was just about 10, 20. He's a multi-billionaire today, and this was one young man who looked at the gaps that were present in the education system at his university where he was. And today, he has created immense job opportunities for youth and even for the elderly. These are the kind of opportunities that we are losing as communities, as countries, if we don't create spaces where young people are respected as assets and as agents of change, who can create opportunities that can lead to the transformation, development, and the much needed change that we always talk about. So as we are here today, I would like to remind those in the policy making, the leaders, that the interventions of this nature are obviously going to require your support, are obviously going to require your help as well in terms of making these youth exercise what they learned during the 5 days that were mentioned here. And opening up space, creating space for young people does not mean that we want them suddenly to be thrust to the highest offices, highest leadership positions at our, be it in our community, be it in our country or in our city. No, we are saying, let's change the mindset that says youth are leaders of tomorrow. Let's see them as potential leaders of today and give them space. We embrace their participation and work together towards finding solutions in our communities. And to the youth of today, and especially the ones that participated in this 5-day training, this is an opportunity that you have been given. It's a beginning. It is not going to help you if you are going to go back to your community and probably adopt the same attitude that opportunities should be created for us. The example I gave you speaks eloquently of a young youth who saw an opportunity, utilized it, and today has solved some of our challenges in our global space, in our global village. That is the challenge of connecting people. He started by connecting his classmates so that they can have a discussion, so that they can meet the deadlines in submitting their assignments. But he has gone beyond that. That initiative has connected people globally. Even in Africa today, if you throw a stone, you risk hitting someone who is on Facebook or who is on Twitter, or sorry, not Twitter, or on WhatsApp, because WhatsApp and Facebook are one company. So as you go back, I want you to take the training you have been given as the foundation. Work on this foundation. The leadership is here. Those who make decisions are here. Embrace them and indicate through your creativity, through your innovation, that you have come of age and you can do good things in your communities, in your cities, to address some of the challenges that we face today. There are certain barriers that probably I would want to hazard on when it comes to youth participation. One of which is lack of experience, be it in job opportunities, because I didn't want to lament much on issues like unemployment and so forth. I think we've spoken about this for a very long time. But unless and until we create space for these youth to start something, to do something, how are they going to acquire the much needed skills, the much needed experience that we always quick to point as one excuse that limits or inhibits this youth participation? We need to embrace them, create the space for them to start to acquire that experience, no matter how small. I'm very happy that Step FM is working together with CEMCOD. And I'm positive from my conversations and interactions with the colleagues here of the two organizations that some of these youth will be creating content, they will be writing stories that will find their way to the radio. And this is how you begin. And with time, when you still doing that, you find that maybe there is a media house outside this city that has caught the attention of your work. And maybe before you know it, maybe there is another giant media company outside the country that has caught the attention of your work. And we need to document that, especially this is a challenge I'm throwing to the two organizations. Let's document stories of change, success stories. I'm talking about Mark Zuckerberg today because his journey and success is well documented. But I know that from this group, given what I saw, we have rising stars, we have change agents, we have people who are going to lead to the provision of solutions through flagging out issues that affect their communities, their respective communities, where they come from. You are not a leader for tomorrow, you are a leader today in your own right. And that's the spirit that I would want you to embrace from today onwards. Don't wait for leaders in your communities to create spaces for you. Create spaces for yourselves as young people. Find solutions. and work with the leadership that is there. This program, Emerging Community Leaders, has given you a platform to shine and to showcase your innovation, your creativity, and your determination as a young person to create change in your community. Take advantage of it, and let's talk maybe some other time about you as a youth from Mbale, from the communities that were mentioned, who embraced an opportunity that you were given, and you have created a solution not only to your family, not only to your community or your country, but to the entire world. It is possible that you can do that as youth from Mbale. It is possible that one day the world will be sharing your success story. It is possible that maybe ask some of you even to share their best practice in some parts of the country and even beyond. So I would like to thank the organizers of this program for giving me an opportunity to share briefly about a subject I'm passionate about. I know my program director is here to remind me that I've exceeded time. When given an opportunity on issues like these, I go on and on because that's something that I want to really hit hard on, especially when it comes to youth participation. Thank you.
Sometimes you have to go slow for you not to make a mistake. Mr. Sidole is a media and information literacy advocate and digital rights evangelist. He has been working with grassroots-based organizations and marginalized communities in Zimbabwe on internet freedom and digital rights since 2013. I think we can now tell the experience that when he's talking, he does not need to check himself already anywhere. We can tell where the passion is coming from. Currently, he is the executive director of media literacy and information and organization that convenes the annual Zimbabwe New Media Summit. And the others, we are still with him here. We shall continue sharing and get to know more about what makes him special in such ways. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving so fast, much as time is not on our side, but amidst us, like I said, we are joined with a number of important people. Bagamba nti nabyo wewaabwe tebamusaamu kitiibwa, but this land has been graced with a number of talents. Amidst us, we have Bureau Chief, Vision Group, Wasebei Region, and former staff of SBC Media Center, CPFM, and that is Javier Seira Somagor. You can wave to us. He is a decorated journalist, a celebrated journalist in the region here. Thank you. At this moment, allow me to invite Madame Proste, who will do me a very simple job to invite the youth institution to take us through best practice, supporting youth participation and leadership in democracy. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. I think mine is simple. I'm a citizen. We are very excited to have you address the youth who have been undergoing this training for the last, we said 5 days, but it's actually 10 days, because we did this in 2 batches. So we welcome you to address the youth and the local leaders who are given in their time to be here with us and to welcome our youth as emerging leaders. You're welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Prasi, for letting me join your fabulous program here today. Is the sound okay? Can you hear me?
Very clear.
Okay. And in the room, thumbs up, can you hear? Okay, thank you. Well, my name is Amy Peterson, and I'm the Education and Cultural Affairs Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Kampala. It is my pleasure to represent the embassy for this program today, and it is a real honor that we are able to support this type of training here in Uganda. We think youth engagement is one of the most important things that the U.S. Embassy does in Uganda. And what I love about this project is that you combine the important discussion of youth involvement in community with giving youth a voice through the radio program. And I want to thank, CEMCOD for putting this all together, the organizers, the trainers, Step Radio for being a host of the media portion of the program, and of course the Mbale leadership for hosting this program and inviting youth from across the Mbale region to join in the conversation that we're going to have over this next year. We do hope that this week of training is just the beginning of your engagement in this exciting conversation. And I will say we at the U.S. Embassy look forward to joining you in person for some more of the engagements in the coming months. As I mentioned, the U.S. mission in Uganda prioritizes engagement with youth. You are the future of Uganda, and we are investing close to $1 billion a year from U.S. government resources to build a more prosperous, healthy, and secure Uganda, where each of you have equal opportunities to thrive. And one of the ways to ensure that youth interests are part of Uganda's development agenda is to give young people like you a voice in their community. And that's what this program does. So by learning about community development, understanding the needs you see in your community, and then being part of public discussions about those needs, you are able to have a seat at the table, to express yourselves and the important conversations about the future of your community. So this program is just one of the programs that the U.S. Embassy runs to support youth across Uganda. And what I wanted to do today was share with you some of the various resources that the U.S. Embassy supports in Uganda for young people. And the first one I wanted to mention is the Young African Leaders Initiative, YALI. The Young African Leaders Initiative was started under President Obama, and it provides resources for young people across the continent to build skills in a range of areas, from business and entrepreneurship to public management and community engagement. And YALI is a range of programs. So there are online courses as part of the YALI network that I would encourage every one of you to look at, because a lot of the skills in those free online courses are transferable to any career that you may choose to pursue. Once you become part of the YALI network, you are also then going to receive information about other programs from the U.S. Embassy and learn how to apply. Because a lot of the programs that we administer, unfortunately, they're small. We can't provide them to everybody. And having some YALI network courses on your resume and in your experience will make you a more competitive applicant for future programs. The next YALI program is our Regional Leadership Center, where we offer in-person leadership training courses at a center in Nairobi, Kenya. And we are going to start advertising for those courses, which we hope will be able to take place in person in Kenya starting in the spring, but we will all have to watch the COVID variants. And then we have something called the Mandela Washington Fellowship, which is the highest level of the YALI program, where we bring truly remarkable African leaders. And from Uganda, we bring about 24 leaders to the United States each summer for a leadership institute. And we do very much encourage applications and support the participation of Ugandans from across the country in these programs. In fact, we want to increase participation from regional candidates like yourselves in our exchange program opportunities. But I have to say, you have to demonstrate your commitment and your skill level through programs exactly like what you're doing now and other skill building activities to be able to demonstrate that you are already a leader in your community to be competitive for the in-person exchange programs. But the YALI program is just one of our network of activities, and we offer different programs here in Kampala as well as virtually. And what I would like to do now is invite my colleague Anna Thompson to share some about the resources that we offer through our American Center and Nile Explorer program. Anna, are you able to join us?
Hi, everyone. It's wonderful to see you all. Can everyone hear and see me okay? Thumbs up. Okay, great. So I just want to reiterate what Amy said. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been sitting in watching a bit for the last hour or so. My name's Anna Thompson. I know it says past Kampala at the bottom of my screen, and I'm a public diplomacy officer at the embassy. I work closely with Amy on many of the programs that she just mentioned to implement and to serve youth like you in Uganda. And over the last hour or so, it's been wonderful to hear from some of you and learn more about the work that you all are doing already. And it's an absolute honor to be involved with this program. And we're thrilled to support young people like you who are giving the youth in your communities a voice. And we believe that the contributions of youth like you are essential in driving progress forward. Like Amy said, we have other programs available to future leaders like you. And so I oversee the American Center in Kampala. Potentially some of you have been there already. If not, I hope the next time you're in Kampala or passing by Gaba Road, you will stop by. The American Center focuses on 5 areas of programming, and that is STEM, entrepreneurship, shared values, so cross-cultural exchanges and experiences between Americans and Ugandans, Education USA, and fostering creativity. So if you go to the US Embassy website and you look at our American Center page, you'll find a link to a calendar that shares a bit about some of the programs that we offer there and where you can find applications to apply. And Amy mentioned YALI and the Mandela Washington Fellow Program. Some of these workshops are a great way to build the skills and demonstrate the commitments to leadership and to furthering yourself professionally that will then later feed into those programs. So for example, some of the programs we're offering right now include a STEM boot camp for women that helps young women between 19 and 24 develop those core skills to help them be successful in the STEM fields. We have a soft skills workshop where young leaders can go to develop some of those core competencies that feed into any field, like resume building or even public speaking. We offer panels on a variety of different topics, so keep an eye out for one that might be relevant to your area of interest. And we also offer workshops that help individuals develop entrepreneurship skills, business, and financial management skills. And then finally, Education USA runs partially out of the American Center in terms of workshops, offerings, learning more about opportunities to study in the United States. So there's a lot going on there. And I would highly encourage you all to check out some of those programs and see if there's anything that might be a good fit for you. We also have something called the Nile Explorer bus, which you may have seen on our social media recently. If not, I encourage you to go check out the visual. It's a really cool mobile American space that moves about Uganda and visits different communities, offering STEM and healthcare programs. That program is for individuals who are a bit younger, mostly secondary students. That can be between the ages of 14 and 19. But we're constantly working to incorporate mentors and other volunteers into that program. So if it's ever something you're interested in learning more about, you think you might know a good audience or a place for the Nile Explorer to stop, or if you'd like to visit and act as a mentor or learn a bit more about the program, we would welcome you there as well. So that's a bit about our American spaces. Again, I'm Anna. It's a pleasure to meet you all, and thank you so much for being here and for welcoming us to participate in this training. Thank you.
Thanks, Anna. And one of the messages that I wanted to bring to you today is that even though COVID has been incredibly challenging for Uganda, for the United States, for citizens around the world, one of the benefits that I see about this changed world that we live in is the access to more online programming. And when Anna's talking about these programs at the American Center, many of them are either online or hybrid programs, which means even from Mbale, you are able to join. And there are more and more online resources that you can add to your toolbox to build your skill set. And then, as you look for opportunities in Mbale and elsewhere, you will have experience and training on your resume that will make you just as competitive as any applicant from across Uganda. And I think that those are truly remarkable opportunities that are growing now. And we hope that students like you will be able to take advantage of those. I will be sharing information, links to some of these programs with Prosi that we can share with you electronically, so you'll be able to follow up. And then I look forward to joining you in person at some point in the coming months so that we can discuss some of these opportunities. I echo Anna in the enthusiasm for the skits that you showed us, your performances of some of the work that you've been doing, and that the role that you as young people play as reporters, as community leaders, as citizens interested in what's happening in your community. These are very important conversations, and we think it's essential for young people like you to have a voice in them. And we at the U.S. Embassy also want to hear that voice. So we are going to look for opportunities where we can hear from you about what matters in your community. And we might even be able to find ways for you to include some of the embassy team in your interview programs. And when you work on the work with Step FM and the media, we hope to be there with you and join you in some of those conversations. So again, I want to thank the organizers of the program. I want to thank the leadership there in Mbale for supporting this important initiative. And on behalf of the U.S. Embassy, congratulations on finishing this first week of training. We see it as just the beginning of this activity, and we look forward to joining you for more of it coming soon. So thank you all for letting us join you today. And with that, I will turn it back over to your in-person host.
Thank you. Another round of applause. Thank you. We have benefited so much from the two presentations. I want to say thank you to the U.S. Mission Uganda for the support to the younger people. Thank you. At this time, like we said, we are running through very fast, but we're not going to forget the colleagues who are joining us. We have General Mate, one of the senior journalists and reporters in the region, with Next Media, that is NPS, is with us here. We also have a senior presenter, the anchor, Sarah Namugambe, Step FM Radio, is in the house. And also Mark Amos Sinanayo, that is also a senior presenter, the anchor, Masaba, in the house. I have my boss behind me there, the editor, that is Peter's 25. Also in the house. Thank you very much. At this time, let's go to our focus discussion. I will request the gentlemen to please forgive me and come back, take up your seats. Frank, I request you to surrender yours and join each on this too. Thank you. Okay. I wanted to balance the equation by inviting the female councillor industrial division to join the team. Okay, we are going to run through this very fast. Yes.
Someone can summarize, make a summary of what you can and just a summary.
Okay.
I want to believe that there is some language where you may have missed something.
Okay. Thank you.
Many will not say that, but I want to say that. I don't want us to give other people.
Thank you. Madam Prost, you have a task here. On behalf of young people, I just want a brief summary of the, yes. But it look like I'm pushing. Thank you.
All right. We thank you again for listening, and we would like to thank the US mission once again for the great speeches that given us. At one moment, why I'm inviting Thomas, at one moment I went outside because I was trying to make things happen. So I would like to request that Thomas, who has been seated in here, gives us a brief in, I don't know, it is going to be the same language, of course. Yeah. If someone wants to, a translation in Nugisu, I'm actually going to invite David. Please. Yes. Yes. Yeah, the English was concentrated. Yes. We agree with you 100%, and that's why we are laboring to try and make it understood. Are we all together on this? Yes, we all agree that we need some kind of simplified packaging of the message that, yeah, simplified packaging of the message from the US Embassy. Okay?
Okay, let me try also to use a language that we can all understand. I hope my accent is not that problematic in terms of understanding. Well, the US mission in Uganda is very excited to be supporting this very excellent initiative where they're supporting development of young people working with CEMCOD, and they look forward to continue working together and to meet with you at some point. And when they come, I think this will be very exciting, especially to the youth. They would want to be interviewed by you. They would want you to engage them. They would want to have a conversation with you so that also you share your experiences and you tell them how this program has been of benefit to you. But they also spoke about the opportunities that are available to young people, courtesy of the US as a country, one of which is the Young Africa Leadership Initiative, abbreviated YALI. This is a leadership development opportunity for young people in Africa. Before COVID, the youth would go to the US where they will be placed at different universities for a 6-week program where you meet other fellow youth from across the continent, where you share ideas, experiences, and best practices. And I think she mentioned that I think more than 20 or 24 youth leaders have benefited from this program. Forgive me if I didn't get that figure right, but that was before COVID, where you get an opportunity as a young leader, as a young person, to go to the US through a competitive selection process like the one that you went through in this program. And the other one is Mandela Washington Fellowship, which is the highest youth leadership development that is available also for youth like you here in Uganda. And you were encouraged also to check online, because some of these programs now have taken a hybrid approach, meaning that since COVID-19 is wreaking havoc as we speak, it's not possible for youth to go to the USA, but they do such leadership development opportunities in their own countries, but also making use of the online resources they have. So she encouraged you to check those programs up. I think CEMCOD will be, together with STEP FM, will be very instrumental in making sure that you also access some of these online resources that they mentioned, and they could be of benefit also to you. But I think if there is something that escaped me, someone will be free to add. I don't know if that is helpful. Thank you.
They also say they are implementing similar programs in other countries, not only Uganda. And one of those countries, they do similar activities in Kenya.
Thank you. Yeah. The Holy Spirit led me to the right person for the selection. In front of you are our leaders. They are duty bearers. They are accounting officers. Here we have the Office of the Youth Leadership in Mbale City, and we also have the Office of the CDO in Mbale City. We present to you young people who have acquired leadership skills and joined us here in time. I know we've been going through a number of activities together. So I just want you to comment on one or two things. One about youth participation and leadership in Africa, the case of Zimbabwe, the presentation we had here, and also the best practice supporting youth participation and leadership in democracy. Let's get your comments on that.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. CEMCOD, the management of CEMCOD, the management of STEP FM, the participants, and all invited guests. Good afternoon, everyone. By name I'm called Mbale and Jinja. I'm this chairperson of the Industrial Division, where we right here. And also the Secretary for Finance of the city. I'm delegated by the chairperson of the city to this very important meeting where our trainees, our youth from the region, from the city have daily experience. And you have learned a lot, I think. I will not waste much time. Go straight away to what I was tasked to do. But before that, I really want to thank CEMCOD once again for considering Mbale City because I remember in the statute director's remarks, they say that there are only 5 districts in the whole country that have benefited from this program. I really want to thank you for considering Mbale State. For us as National Youth Council, you know, I'm under National Youth Council. We got a corporate that was established in 1993 by an act of parliament, basically to handle youth-related matters. And one of our roles as National Youth Council is to protect the younger people from any kind of manipulation. Our second role is that we are supposed to mobilize the youth and engage them in government programs to benefit from government programs and many others. Because the government really feels that as younger people, we are supposed to participate in decision making. So, like they say, I talk about youth participation and leadership. I guess it was as the National Youth Council, the younger people in different programs. But we have been having for you, especially we have a number of activities council as the leader of the youth. We don't have a platform such that it can reach directly to the younger people. And I believe that media is very, very important in this program of ensuring that younger people are empowered. We have a lot of running programs that were established by the government, which I believe most of you are aware, like the Myoka program, which is running. I happen to be the chairperson of one of the CEMCOD from my division. We mobilize the youth, and the only 18 groups benefited from the money. And the CEMCOD is still growing. We are trying our best. Of course, we are talking about empowering people, young people economically. There is another program which is about to be scrapped off, and I think it is scrapped off. I will be corrected by the committed government officer, and that was the YOVODE program, which as youth council, we are supposed to mobilize young people from different communities, from different villages, to ensure that they benefit from this program. But one of the challenges that made it to the failure of this program is that there was a lot of things to do with the capacity building. In that I don't know whether it was a problem of operational costs, but young people were given money without being trained on what they are supposed to use the money for. So that program is dying, and of late we are also introducing another program, which is the parish development model, which is supposed to kick off in January. And as the leadership of the youth leaders, we are trying to again go to our communities and mobilize the young people to benefit from this program. But still, we have a very big gap because much as we have structures right away from the village up to the national level, but there is a communication gap. In that, for me at the city, I'm supposed to communicate to someone, maybe at the division or at the old operation level, to also give communication to the person at the village level. Because I may not play that role, I cannot communicate to the entire cells in the city. So it becomes a very big challenge. But once we have our young people who are in media, once we have stakeholders or partners who are in the media, who can help us. Because to be honest, ever since we entered this leadership, I think we only attended the radio talk show once. And that was a step. We were given airtime from the RRS to talk about youth day celebration. And that is why today young people whom we lead, most of them don't know us. Because we don't have that platform where we can communicate and we get around these young people. Because we are elected by delegates. You know what constitutes delegates. So it's a very big challenge. But like they say, we are not leaders of tomorrow, we are supposed to be leaders of today. I'm happy that for us, in our division, as we speak now, the member of parliament, Honorable Karim Masaba, is the youth. It's my OB, it's my agent. We did P7 in the same year. He's a member of parliament and he's the youth. We are proud of that. And we have a youth councillor who are in.
1 minute.
So I don't want to talk much since we are three in front. The president maybe I'll hand over the microphone. So another person also.
Thank you. I think what I forgot in the first place was we are going to be reading and answering questions. Thank you. So since the microphone is already with the order decided is first, but today we are taking the second position. So we are talking about youth participation and leadership in Africa, also best practice supporting youth participation and leadership in democracy. Thank you.
To the organizers, protocol officer, I want to thank the president, the CEMCOD, and the House at large for coming. My name is Anna Brand. I'm the Honorable Councillor in Justice. I want to take this opportunity to thank the youth to have embraced this program, and I hope they have learned a lot that are going to go back and share with the community for the better development. Mine won't be much. I will go straight to the media. They've done more good than harm, although it's a two-way sided. The good is they have hoped to expose a lot in the community. So I want the youth who have learned from this occasion or this training to utilize them and to utilize the media platform to expose whatever is happening in the community or in the community development. We also take the opportunity to thank the youth, especially from Nauyo and Namabasa Town Council. Thank you for not disappointing us. Thank you for coming. I hope you learned a lot in this 5-day training. And I'm glad, and I will be more joy if you use whatever you learned to better yourselves. Please go back and spread the gospel. A lot of people or a lot of youth were left behind, but were chosen to be part of this. So be a good example to others who are there. Tell them, share with them, so that they can also do the needful for the betterment of the community. For Namabasa, thank you for coming. I'm overjoyed that I'm part of this. And I want you to take back the same information to the community. The other thing is, on this very note, is I wanted to request or appeal to the media that you requested a limited number of people. So I'm having a problem. I'm going to have a problem. Actually, I started having that issue on the same day you requested me to get involved. Why is it that they limited the number? Yet most people wanted to be part of it. When so the youth, I have many questions to ask. Yes, one is COVID, but still the number was bigger. It was 13. Because nowadays I've extended to a number of 200 participants or the other occasion. So they will be like, even if you say COVID, they will be like, no, but the number was really little. So I'm requesting that next time when you have such organization or such activities, you add it just on a number. Once again, I want to thank you, but let this not be the end here.
let it go up to the community. You call people, you call the youth, you call even the elders, because I know they have stories to tell. They have things to share with us. Because me, myself, I can't say I'm always in the field full time. I may not know the problems that youth, that community is facing, but when we go there, they'll have stories and a lot to share about this. I still remain Honorable. Thank you once again for sharing this with us.
Because she participated in the selection of the team, especially from Uganda and Nauyo Town Council. We also face the same challenges, Honorable. We are happy that you turned up and you're one of the active leaders we have in the region, because there are those we approached and they disappeared after today. Never heard from them again. But I think the people of Nauyo have a leader. Back to this side, being an accounting officer, I must say, at that level, I will give you 4 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, MC. My name is Beckham Lanja. I'm a senior community development officer. I have been a senior community development officer for Mbale district local government, but I want to say that we are transiting into the city, and I happen to be carved into industrial state division. Nevertheless, I have passionately worked with the youths, and I think most youth leaders here can attest to that. For the time I have worked with the youths, I have been in charge of the YOVODE program in the entire district. I've been in charge of the CED program, a number of interventions that are directed by government to benefit the youth. But before I give you a comment, I want to say that I received the invitation for this engagement on phone. Somebody called me, and I was actually not in the district. So when I came back today, I remembered about this call, and I called back. And somebody told me we are going to have a meeting at 2 o'clock. I didn't even have an invitation. But I want to thank you. Whenever I hear anything that is engaging the youth, I quickly jump on board, because I know, and the colleagues in this house will agree with me, that we are talking about a very delicate segment of our society. The youth that we have here, this is the moment where most life decisions are taken. You are transiting from being a child, and you are entering into what you will be for the rest of your life. We are talking about people who have the best part of their energies in life, and once we do not direct those energies into positive things, the energies might be directed into doing negative things. But I want to mention that a number of interventions have been made to try and better the lives of our youths. But again and again, we are coming back here and still saying our youths are still behind. I have been involved so much in terms of sensitizing and creating some mindset change for the youth. I have been on radio, I have been in sensitizations, and we keep talking about this. I want to mention to the youth here today that whereas government has put in place a number of interventions, whereas we have a lot of things that we can share from our colleagues, our brother from Zimbabwe was telling us about how youth can change this world. The issue is we must change our own mindset in understanding these situations. I want to tell you, friends, that everything we are in the world today, every good thing we achieve in the world today, they have their origin in the mind. I want to repeat, whatever success that we have, whatever success that you see from the people, somehow it originated from their brain. And once we get that ingredient right, we are going to succeed. I am a community development officer, and when I looked at the agenda and when I looked at the organization, it means that all we are trying to do is to develop the youth. And that's why I talk with passion. That all of us are supposed to begin things today that will better our lives. I want to report to our donors, our friends, that some of us in Africa, some of us in Uganda, we the youths are nowhere because we have failed to start. Why can't we start something? One, we have a negative mindset. A mindset of saying we youths are left behind. A mindset of saying I can't start because I have no capital. A mindset of saying, you know, for me, I am from a clan. That man who succeeded in the US is a white man. Me, I'm just an African man. I'm just a common person here. Can I also be like that? God gave us two equal resources. I want to mention just two. Gave us 24 hours and gave us an equal amount of brain. Whether you are rich, whether you are poor, or I always done it. That's a fact. And it all depends on how we use it. If you are going to spend most of your time doing things that are unproductive, you are going to render a big chunk of your brain redundant because you are not using it. And if you are going to be actively engaging your brain in things that are productive, we all have capacity to prosper in life. So as I conclude, I know he's picking up his microphone to remind me. I want to say that we as youths need to do three things. One, start something today. As we leave this place, you say, today I am going to start. Let us stop lamenting every day. I hope we agree on that one. Once you take that decision. Two, whatever we do, I have already mentioned, starts from the brain. Promise your brain that by this time next year, I must be at this level. And your brain will keep reminding you, please do what you promised. Remember, our brain is garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you put in is what your brain will demand you. Just give it a try. Make a program and mention it and say at 7 o'clock or at 5 a.m. I want to wake up and go to town. I am telling you, even if you are dead asleep, you will find yourself waking up at 5 because your brain is reminding you that please do what you say. As I conclude, I want to mention that we are all here because we want to better our lives. We want to engage in things that are productive. We want to prosper. Prosperity has no. A friend of mine told me that when you enter the world of business, when you enter the world of public sector, the rules there are very harsh. The public sector wants the best. Whatever you do, be the best. When they come here and they want to sample somebody who underwent the training, they will sample the first two or the first one. So be the best. The world is ruthless. Are we together, friends? I want to end it there, but I want to request the organizers that next time I also want to be invited and I be part of the training. I can share a lot and a lot and a lot. Thank you very much.
Sorry, will never be our best ally, but what we were doing is make sure we introduce to you these people. They also get to know you. You make sure you get the contacts of your leaders. From here, you start sharing, networking, and coordinating. That is how we are going to push this project. Thanks, you did my work very well, and I would request you to take our seat. Frank, come and assist me. Let's transfer the honorable seats. Thank you. Thank you. Amidst us, we have been joined with a very important guest, and that is our guest of honor, and our one and only Baba Mayor, Mbale City. Let me hear a beautiful one. Thank you very much. Our dear guest of honor, we were along that way, and in front of you are participants who participated in 10 days training of emerging leadership, emerging leaders. They were selected from your two mighty divisions, that is Industrial City Division and Northern City Division. We made a selection from Namabasa and a selection from Nauyo. In a whole, they make 25. We have been sharing since we started this program. We've had experience both from the team here and our colleague, our friend from Zimbabwe, and also the team that has supported this event, the US mission. Step FM, together or in partnership with the CEMCOD, the Center for Media Literacy, organized this training in support of US mission Uganda. You found us in a focused discussion. We were engaging our leaders and getting their comments on the discussions we had earlier. And right now, we shall be going to another discussion, which is our next agenda. And the moderator will be Frank Ochen. In favor of time, I will request you to take the podium. Frank Ochen is the manager, Step FM Radio, also a senior news editor. In his capacity, I can call him the chief editor of Step FM. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, MC. Thank you, everyone. And I guess everyone was just you're welcome to the session. Like the MC stated, we're now heading to the plenary. When I talk about plenary here, basically I'm referring to the whole house now. It's time for all of us to be part of the meeting. We have been getting specific people coming to present here. We just had the leaders. That means the house is now open for an open discussion. And I'm reliably informed that amidst the whole gathering here, we also have Mr. Diva Innocent, who's a development consultant. We have Mr. Wanzira Dominic, I think from the Civil Society Network, from an NGO called Bakade. And also we have Mr. Mababi David, senior journalist, who's one of the trainers here. Madame Maimuna is here, and she plays a very, very serious role at the Northern City Division, and she was also one of the trainers. We have very many colleagues also from the media institution. The head of Javier Saras Magori is in the house. He is the bureau chief for New Vision in Sepei. And Mr. Matembo Gerard from NBS is also in the house. Plus all the members, not forgetting our Deputy Bishop, Mbale City, is also in the house as Mr. Lumba Charles. So I believe the discussion will be moving in the right direction. And if I may try to guide it, I will just open it by requesting Mr. Wanzira Dominic to kick off, and then we'll be rolling. So, Mr. Walu Simon, I think you can remove the microphone. Is that? Sorry about
My name is Francis Wanzila.
We're sorry.
And I am the executive director of Poverty Alleviation and
Development. Yes.
The person we are talking about is, I think, well known to the mayor. So you're
My apologies, sir.
No, that's okay.
All right.
In a very hello. Oh, okay. As I said, my name is Basil Wanzila. I have worked with. I have lived as a youth. I have lived as a very stubborn youth, very creative youth. A very quick story, I had to convince my father from being a teacher in a primary school, teaching subjects that you know, mathematics, all those things. I had to convince my father that I was not going to do that yet. I was about 23 then. I told him I was going to study music, dance, and drama. He laughed. He said, "You must be crazy. They don't study music, dance, and drama." Even my father was a musician without going to school. But guess what? A short, long story. I hold a master's degree in social anthropology. I turned the thing around to say I can study the human being. I went together. I am now an expert on social anthropology. That is the study of a human being. Anthro is human, logic is logical study. I went together, but I must have been mad. Because you don't go to study those things in the UK, you study them in Uganda. So I went to Makerere University and I danced there. If you want to try me with my steps here now, I can dance like you've never seen before. But what am I saying? That we have talents. We have professionals. We have professions that can make you money. Even you, as you stand up for me. You look at, come, and I'm now demonstrating, and then now I want you to do some dance for me. Anything, and I'm going to sing. Are you asking? But you get the point.
I think the youth is not
I want to say at least. You have something. Okay, he's not able to dance, but the costume he's wearing, a very dancing dress. But you can sit down, sir. Now, meaning that the youth, they belittle themselves like, what else? You are belittling yourselves and saying, what can I do? No, you can do very many things. I have sold firewood. I have sold tomatoes. I have sold the onions to make money. And I make it. I made a lot of money. In the UK, I was washing plates between my studies. Have I lost anything? Can you see that there are plates being washed on me now? But I got my degrees. When I had a friend of mine talking from Zimbabwe, I visited Zimbabwe as a consultant under a program called the FAMESA. That FAMESA project was for East and Central Africa. East and Central Africa. Basil Wanzila, the dancer, was in Zimbabwe. Can you give me a hand? So from dancing to a consultant, that means the youth, we are capable of having a lot of things that we can do with our talents. Mine is, I am stopping there because I can go. Then get my contact also. I have a very useful contact.
Indeed. Please make sure you take down the contract.
The reason I'm saying I'm a Facebook caster is that we also train in financial management and business enterprises. That's what I've done all my life. The mayor will say it, but I will hide from the mayor now. Okay. Your worship. So I must stop. But because we have space, we have offices which many NGOs don't have. We have a permanent home. Plot 3, we will close in the city. We have even training space. We even run a university there now. Hey! And you're doing that thing. I want to get some of these skills and change your life. Do you know that if you made 30 chapatis every day, one chapati is 1,000? How much is that? 300. Hello? Are you listening to me? I would like to end by saying, please take my number, 0772 487938. And the number which normally I don't use because I'm not very poor is 0703 81 64 62. That number is a very miraculous number. In 1981, I graduated with a postgraduate diploma in public administration in Makerere University after I had come back from the UK with my master's. Then in the 64, I was circumcised. Then in the 62, I left the seminary to become a priest, and I am now a father of children. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Worship, and the organizers, we would like to appreciate. And as my colleague was saying, when you organize something like this, you also look for some of us who have a experience. So when you invite him, he will tell you that there's another man called Pastor Panza. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Worship, thank you so much again. My dear organizers, thank you for inviting me. May God bless you all. Please don't call after me.
Thank you so much. I think you can give me a round of applause. Very nice that discussion there, but the dinner is getting hot, butter. Okay, as we move on, right now, so we have me move that microphone to one of the lead trainers here, that is Madam Maimuna, share something, say 1 minute, so that the dancer now going to sit can also realize how much they've achieved from the training, and we'll be inviting him also in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Good evening, everyone. My participants, how are we? Everything is good? Yes. The demonstration there was real. My name is Nakadama Maimuna, the assistant town clerk, Northern Division. But here in CEMCOD, I'm a consultant on gender matters. This training has been on for 10 days. I've interacted with these people, everyone, at least I can mention names. But what I was particularly looking at was youth participation in development. My mentor, Mr. Basil Wanzira, he talked to me, and I think I'm a good prophet. I'm a good fruit, and he has just said it. Leadership starts from these little ones. For us to develop, we need the children on our side. As we grow and become Mr. Basil Wanzira, we have someone to pass over the mantle to. If Basil did pass over the mantle to me, then no one else would be here to speak about youth and development. We practically looked at also leadership my youth council, youth chairperson, I was grooming your predecessors. We were grooming your predecessors who would come and take over the mantle from you. So we think when we meet them, please teach them a few nitty-gritties. I don't have much. We are a team that will always fight for the tomorrow's Uganda. That is our motto throughout the 20 days. Without them, we are no more. Thank you very much.
Yes, I think you can hear the testimonies coming over there. We heard from Mr. Wazira, and now one of the fruits in the house. So you realize we have great people in the house tonight. Now, as we get rolling, Simon, have me move that microphone to the next trainer, Mr. Mapabi David. Very, very familiar person in the media industry. You can hear that is coming from the crowd, and then what it means is that Mapabi, take over. Wow. So
when Mr. Pastor was just stood up to speak, I said, person teaching ministry and one grammar. And the one they call us in Masaba. We are so proud about you. And the English I speak is this. I don't speak English with nobody else. He told me, he made me. And I am because
another round of applause.
Mr. Wanzira, I told these children what you told me. I told them when an old man is dancing and pointing in this direction, don't think that is wrong. He could be pointing at something.
So the dancers need to be careful.
So I told them, if you see the head of something in water, don't stand at a distance and say, I have seen a crocodile. Jump into the water. That's what I told them. And I want to end this way. I don't want to speak much. Mr. Mayor, welcome. And Mr. Mayor told his children that when wise men point at the moon, it is fools who see. Thank you so much.
Well, you're getting it from here. CEMCOD is projecting CVP. So you heard from Mr. Mapabi, David, a celebrated journalist, and someone would think that maybe I received the briefing that all these students of Mr. Wanzira, but I did not know. I think it was not communicating to me. I just found myself running in that direction. Thank you so much for realizing the potential we're building really in this house. And maybe another round of applause to Mr. Wanzira because it's taking place. All right, we're still moving on with our plenary. Mr. Arup Simon, can you help me move that microphone to the celebrated media person here? That is Madam Sarah Namugambe. Most people know her as Senga on Step Radio.
Good evening, all of you. My name is Nauyo Sarah. You know me? Here in the booth. You know me? Okay. Nice meeting you once again. Thank you, CEMCOD, for this workshop for these young girls and boys here. My appeal to you is now you are going to begin the journey. The journey starts now. But my appeal to you, don't fear us, approach us. More so, my voice goes to mostly the girls. Girls at times, like you want something, men tend to use you to get what you want. You need to be more careful as girls. Don't allow someone to tell you that if you want that side of me, come to my office at 10. Come to my office at 11. Come to this guest house, don't accept. And in case someone tells you, or someone sees you and say, now for you, when you come to mentors, call us, we shall give you our numbers. If you see that this thing is beyond me, don't leave just that story. You always go to another person, say that that story must be heard in your community. Other things, not every story you meet at can be aired, but we can use other stories in our programs. You know, there are those small stories around you that we can air in our programs, have different programs on our radio station. So don't see that as if this one is not used. It cannot be used, but it can make sense in other programs. And because you make sure that at least in a day I have to take a story. In a day I have to communicate. Don't hesitate, come to the radio station.
Yes.
Yeah, don't hesitate, come.
At that point, you get realized that she's looking for stories in community that can run in her Senga program. And when the Senga speaks, it means the girls are safe. Right?
Those words, I want to welcome you. We are happy to be with you again. We have more and more community reporters. You are welcome to State Radio at any time. Feel free. Don't fear that you will welcome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Still moving on. I'm sure it's time for plenary. The whole house is now Bob. Bob switched on the microphones. You'll speak. So let's get back aside because so much material here, but we're getting back. Let us hear from Mr. Dumba, the bishop, because from every warrant, we could even think they're not safe here, but security is here. Let's hear from him. And I know he's going to be talking about the youth participation in community development and how safe you are in your reporting. And thank you so much. You're welcome.
Thank you. Protocols out. My name is Charles Mondonga. You have said it very well, the deputy from RCC. But here in the capacity of RCC, you know very well what is happening in Kayunga. So he has gone that side to beef up his colleagues that side. Youth participation. When I come here, I see State FM. Basically, we are training media personalities. Someone said here, that journalists are very good people. By the way, if you notice very well, journalists and security people do the same thing. It depends on where they report and where we report. All they're interested in is information. Incidentally, sometimes journalists, without verifying the information, they push it to the social media and things blow out. I wish you could be approaching our offices and get verified information. Maybe that's going. But this business of Mwagala Vihise, the Vihise Mwagala, we were talking about empowering youth. But if you must raise any issue in your community without raising any issue about yourself, because you cannot help any other person before you help yourself. Someone, when they talk about leadership, they think about his worship, the mayor. Wherever you are, in whichever capacity you are a leader, how are you managing yourself? Then if you can't manage yourself, can you manage others? So I hope the facilitators of today have emphasized empowerment of yourself other than looking at helping others when you have not empowered yourself. Our CEO talked about, our government has so many programs for the youth. one of them being ULP, that's youth livelihood. We had UOF, we had the yoga, which is still on, but soon we shall be getting the parish model. I hope our youths, you have trained already in associations or groups, because this program will not benefit you when you are not in a group. Okay. So I urge you to be in groups and benefit from these government programs. I say all this for God and my country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Head of Security by the City. I told you that means we are absolutely safe. So I would request His Worship, the Mayor of Mbale City, to get prepared just in a short while to be coming forward and hand over these certificates to the people who have been here for those days, training to be leaders in these communities. As prepares, just 5 seconds to say a word to the floor, because time is against us. And as a development consultant, we talk about community development.
Thank you very much. I want to thank everyone. In development, we say that development is freedom. The youth have been liberated today from freedom to substitute for freedom. So today, you are very free, you've been liberated. I think you've changed. For us in development, there is what we call development in practice. And me, I'm a practical person. I urge you, all the youth, find something to do. Tomorrow you will be employed. They employ so many people, and most of the time, most of those ones who are in civil society, you are given a contract of 1 year. You fail to perform, you're fired. After you've been fired, the big stomach that you've been having, like mine, you find it starts disappearing, you end up getting funny diseases, stress. What is killing Ugandans? We are dying from stress. So please, development in practice, find something to do. For me, let me summarize this. For me, any job that is there, please, you can do it. People Innocent deals in all types of spices. So you're supposed to build your own niche. Even if I'm working there, no one can fire me. So have something to do such that even if you've been fired from your place of work, at least you will be able to survive, diversify your economy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Innocent, for that word, wisdom. Actually, I hope you realize how you can keep your stomach, that you don't lose it when things are very bad. Okay, in the interest of time, I will therefore invite His Worship Mayor of Mbale City, and as it comes forward, also request the trainers, in this occasion rather, or the project, Mr. Mafami, David to move forward, then Mike Muna also move forward to help in the process. As they come forward, you should also realize online, we have one of the big trainers, that is Damna Jasalivia. She's a senior journalist and the editor-in-chief of the Uganda Radio Network, Kampala. She's following this event so much. Absolutely, and I shall appreciate the effort in this going. So, and that's it here. For those I will call our brother tonight, when you hear your name, you come forward for a picture moment with a very important persons in the house here as you receive your certificates, and you should have a story to tell. Thank you. So patiently wait for your name to come forward. Lisa Ingrid, move forward. As you come forward, she's from Nauyo Bugema Town Council. Wearing Uzaifa, Nauyo Bugema Town Council, passionate leader right now. Aoka Emmanuel, you can be moving forward. Also from Nauyo Bugema Town Council. That is the Industrial City Division policy. Nauyo Harriet, that is from Bugema, Nauyo Bugema Council. Masoro Nixon, also left the reforms, that's Nauyo Bugema. Try to move faster. That is Mr. Masoro Nixon. William Oduho, Nauyo Bugema Town Council. Dongo Hadidja, also reliably informed, Nauyo Bugema Town Council. You can see how many leaders I imagine there. NASA, yeah. Also from Nauyo Bugema Town Council. Wadada Emmanuel, managing leader from Nauyo Bugema Town Council. So, Juana Daniel, Nauyo Bugema Town Council, managing leader. Sofiana, also an emerging leader from Nauyo Bugema Town Council, telling you Nauyo is covered. That's for city. Akonga Lam, also from Nauyo Bugema Town Council, emerging leader. Blondera Elena, Northern Division, Madam Maimuna. See someone coming forward there, Namabasa. Taikas, also from Nauyo Bugema. No, that is Namabasa. Yes, Northern Division. Right now, is also Taikas, you're the RCC tonight. Okay. Right here, that is Namabasa. Keko, Namabasa. Kata Julius also from Namabasa, Northern City Division. Namnyala Harvard, also a trainee from Namabasa. Kakari Greda, also from Namabasa. Janet Amokola, also from Namabasa. Naviko Bayat, that is Namabasa, Northern City Division. Omono Isima come forward from Namabasa. Kamala from Namabasa. Omono James, also from Namabasa. Yes, Namabasa still. Okay, and that marks the end of awarding of certificates to the brother for that matter. So at this moment, address my guest of honor, worship, and listen to them. Thank you so much. All protocols observed and respected. I'm passing
Thank you, the organizer and program. I think it was a very interesting program. Seeing the senior members like senior journalists there. I missed, guys, some of you might have missed his anniversary just last weekend. So celebrating and having maintained marriage for that long, that is not so common to most of us. But we congratulate young guys for that. That only there was a small hit, but otherwise there was many there. But again, back to this, I want to thank the experience you just shared with our youth here. Unfortunately, we still got them young ones, and also want to see the young, because this is holy men. We no longer now have time and luxury of time to remain young for so long. And like you shared his experience, I want to share my own experience too. I think when I was a student at Narambai, I went to several primary schools because my dad left when I was so young, so I had to hustle. That's why when you get people from Moroto Primary, they say that's my hobby. When you are not road here, they say that is hobby. When you are in Narambai, you say hobby. When you are got somewhere in Uganda, they say hobby. So I attended also many schools because I didn't have the luck that I'm going to see my dad beyond 6 years. But indirectly, that's why I'm saying that it's bad for you to hold yourself young, even at this time. The moment you're able to attend this training up to the end, you are no longer a young person. Consider yourself a mature person who must take responsibility of your soul and those younger siblings of yours. People like Idiba Inosega have not shared details. But when they share, you will see that they have come from very far. I think myself, by the time I went to Koma with my senior colleague here, I had to abandon my another colleague because I thought I was always going to get things to go there. Said I needed to go back to their school. Say that I can bend for myself and move without a lot of education. And indeed, those people who went to Kampala, you must have seen that block up next to the park entered. That's why I used to sell bees, passion bees. Used to buy fruit from Wanade, make them, and make some money. And from that time, I looked after myself after the master's degree program without anybody interfering. I can assure you that those who are in the former passion will tell you that that is all his car, owned by his money, is the Rita Toyota. And that was not by anybody giving, but myself buying my own resources. So that by the time I hit senior 6, my elder brother thought I had given up, so he called me saying, someone give you this shop, then you marry, then you do what? I told him, no, you only land left around with him. When we have gotten close to the 10 points, go to again government for sponsorship. That is it of my soul. That means I will sell the beats. When I come back, when I'm not there, I have a young one helping and pay fees and look after my soul. So at this age, when you start calling yourself young, you do yourself example. When I was at Narambai, no wonder that's when they stole me for the first time. In my location of P7, I used to call the shop on Lucas Road. For those of you who know DJ, there was Dividing Glory. So just opposite Dividing Glory was some small shop where I was running. That is P7 vacation. And I think that's the time I got the first week where someone came and picked me out cans of cowboy. But it told me in the meantime, as I put this in the car, pass way for me, 10 kilograms of salt, you know, the salt that we just weigh. Because after 10 minutes, I realized the guy has cheated. Because by that time, the guy didn't come back. He just took off with the cowboy. So that's what I'm saying, that if you don't grow up younger when you are still young, and if they age around, but I'm talking in terms of your mind and your everything, then you want to remain young forever. You do yourself in service. And how do you grow old?
You grow old by imagining things that make sense to you. And you grow old by knowing that you must wait for yourself at a later stage. Even if you have parents who can do everything for you, struggle to make sure that you can do it yourself. And the reason why I don't struggle to provide for certain things, because I want them to learn. And therefore, at this age, I can tell you, I read that shop at Nara on my vacation. When I was in now senior whatever, I realized I'm getting delayed in getting some money in my pocket. So I abandoned, I have to come back. And that did not stop me from getting enough points to pay with my parents. They should have said, because I'm busy, then how do I manage schools and business and the other? That didn't happen. Even after my career, before I joined banking, I was running a brokering business on William Street. Those who used to buy vehicles, that would have seen, or some of you would have bought. I was on that one. So I did run, despite the fact that I had a few brothers who were doing well, the others in that school. But I thought it was important to focus on myself. And that is the spirit that I've moved with up to now. That I make decisions that I feel will drive me and I go for them. I do a lot of consultation, but where the animal is not pushing me to move to the target that I look for, I respect it, but I don't so much need it. So, what we are going through here, and that's what I'm saying that you guys have learned. For us at that time, I think we do not have a lot of career guiding people, we do not have senior people like this as sit us and guide us on this. So sometimes you are your own career guiding person because of the nature of some of the schools we are going. So therefore, I always encourage you to when I'm there, that do not look at yourself and consider yourself in the other. And by the way, I respect a lot of these programs that government is putting. I can assure you, the government died last year and gave each one 50 million to go and invent for those soul. Also, what you don't know how it can be, what you even had. By the money that you make your soul, that one way, that 10 shillings, to spend it, you will have to think so hard. But the money that will just be given, spending it is very easy because you don't know how it also came past. For the last couple of years, the government has given so many programs, but you will get very few people who have succeeded. So three things sometimes are good, but they are not natural, very free. But if it gets you moving and you're somewhere, you will reach somewhere, and you will really succeed. So even these programs, the parish models, if it gets you, then they say now because of this, we are giving you this one start. Without having planned and done something similar, using some experience, it doesn't sometimes give. Therefore, I really want this opportunity to employ and say that please, as you look at those who can hold your hands, try to push yourself. Let it get you along. And it's always what I advise when those who go to borrow. If you are borrowing capital of 10 million and your business requires 10 million, don't waste time with a witch doctor. You know that that business will not succeed. The business cannot succeed when you are borrowing 10 million and your business is around 30 million. Say you know the little money you've added will now push up your what? Your interest for something you are earning the profits. But you cannot tell me that 10 million immediately you are going to make a profit that will be to pay the 10 million. That's why these programs of government, most of them have impacted, but not so much. Most of them have not seen people go through. But like himself, I did say, if suppose I had a boy, one of my brother's boy, he used to sell somebody's companies around and say that. And what else being this possible as a project selling. How many cartons do you buy? They say we can sell like the 6 small bags and so on. So I said, you know that is capital less than 200,000. But you have got an opportunity where you have had in your pocket more than 200,000. Then you're working for somebody who has a capital of 100,000 and is able to pay you and buy food at home. So what difference is there? The only difference is that is using you to succeed. But you cannot use yourself to succeed. So these programs should find you moving. If there are parish models where you are going to be given maybe
a day or so. You have one already. Others, you look at it, then start inviting people, I might get the class when I'm what, then you know we have these guys who come and complete 11. You know, when you save it now, you go like this, then you get this, then you get that. So you save them tomorrow, you see, you know, now you start hiding out. I just work with microfinance. And I can tell you that you ride a motorcycle in the bushes, chasing people to the government. Because people take this money, they form groups, so you have owning groups. Then you get this money. Unfortunately, people form groups that are not the same. Like you're a farmer, you form a group with a retailer, you form a group with a wholesaler, and then a contractor. And then your payment is supposed to be uniform. Possibly money. Now, you can see your earnings in terms of frequency is totally different. A farmer is on season. A contractor is based on how when you pay you are. Then you're in the same group. So you find that now this one has helped so and so to pay, has helped the other one has run out, and groups have collapsed. But at the right time, when we invest in groups go and visit what we call your support, it can just not go far. Close. Even you see a Kenya here, and you see what they call circles. Then when you reach Nairobi, you see those flats owned by the owners of circles. For us in Uganda, our circles are not mainly for sale. It's mainly to borrow. And when we borrow without plan, what is giving you a visa to run away from home? Because that was what has happened, and that's the experience I've dealt with the microfinance groups. I think I had my best time with them around 5 years before I went into main banking. That's when we started dealing with corporate individuals. But the corporates, they have their own problems. Only that they always get to the valuable terms. So for us here at our level, as you move and see, imagine you are your soul. You must wait for your soul and also for the family you are planning to have. How do you move? Start with that people you can. I don't have to believe in people who say people don't want to work. And now people want to work, but they cannot work. So for us, our main capital, the brain here and the hands as we are known, start with that people. I can assure you that we are selling the beans. Partially beans, I just have a picture. Buying Mukunda coming from one area. But I made sure that those who are in the back will say, so you guys come and take. And I think in my brother, the first house he did somewhere in income was out of passion and one that's delayed. That was just passion. So I want to thank the organizers of this. You guys have an advantage that there are people who can share experiences, there are those who can guide. I'm very sure if you listen properly and you went and sat down, you know where to go. One thank you for the program. I've said all these for God and my God.
Thank you. I have already said this, that for the first time in history, Baddest has a manager to manage it. And Yanda is here, please. For us, we already have orders. I went to his office and I did not get issues. Yes, to deliver our letter, and he has not disappointed us. Have a massive meeting. Younger people here, don't allow the mayor to leave you without his contact. Because he is the leader. You are the reason why he's in that office. So it is good to network. I want to say thank you, and this has brought us to the end of our program tonight. And I think we have one or two administrative announcements. The first one will be, we have been here for the 10 days. We were eating and drinking. The younger people felt it wise to share with us a snack before we leave this place. Thank you. Thank you. And the last activity or the last announcement, your administrative announcement, is to get to know CEMCOD staff. At least we've introduced the step of them. staff. There is one colleague I don't want to forget, that is one of the youthful senior writers of the Daily Monitor, a former reporter of SPC Radio Center. That is Olive. Please, you can stand and wave to us. Young people, there is a senior young person there. Yes, who has a lot of experience. Thank you.
CEMCOD staff. I would like to introduce you to the mayor and to our leaders who have graced this occasion before we can break our party. So, Madam Lillian, please. She's our finance manager. She makes sure that when we are here, we can afford to share the tea and snacks. Mire is our program associate. She has been moving around with the camera all around. That's how we've been. And myself, the director, media initiatives, when it comes to media issues. Yeah, I think we've been speaking that. So that's what I do most at CEMCOD. And our executive director is online. He actually put up his hand. That's why I was forced to come and ask for the microphone. I'm sure he may be having something that is itching for him to tell our youth and our dear leaders who have graced this occasion. So we would love to allow you 1 minute so that we can go and have our snacks. Yes. Bruce.
Yes, hello.
We can hear you, Bruce.
Yes. Have you asked me to speak? Yes, hello.
We can hear you, Bruce. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone who has honored the invitation to come and attend the launch of yet another very, very important project of Youth Voices for Development. Without you, we wouldn't be. And we are very sure that as we send out these young people in the community, you will be there to support them. You will be there to mentor them. It's my honor at this juncture to wish everybody a safe journey back home. Let us all unite for the development of our communities. Thank you very much.
That you've been able to be very far away, but also be with us here. And this is exactly what the US mission representative was speaking about. What social media has done is to enable us to converge even when we are very far away. Mayor, we thank you very much. We wouldn't be speaking after you, but it was very inevitable that we had to do this. Thank you very much to all our leaders. We are enormously grateful that you took up time to be here and inspire our young people. And to our youth, how do you feel now? Some energy. How do you feel? Speechless. Okay. Yeah, but thank you so much. Please, we have tea. Don't go away without taking some tea. Please, our leaders, this is the opportunity to ask them some more questions. So don't just leave. Let's be around and interrupt a little bit, even if it's for 2 minutes. We also have a the finance person will be handling each one who's going out with a very small transport refund to whoever's come. So please, we ask that you accept it. We do not have much to give, but we thought that for you to grab the border and reach here, we needed to do something. So what we are giving you
welcome. And a simple one, young leaders, we are going to wait for our elders to start the line. After them, we shall also join and get a snack as we continue to network. Thanks for being with us, and may the Almighty bless your journeys back.